So we come to this, I want to come to the first part is the height and FAR. This is a 12-floor building that is coming up. Now it went to the Town and Country Planning Board, and you know the Town and Country Planning Board always has a committee that goes through the application that comes and recommends to the board that this is the extra thing you give or you don't give. So the Town and Country Planning Board recommended that they give 8 meters extra height and 50 FAR. So from 24 meters they would go to 32 meters, and from 200 FAR they would go to 250 FAR. FAR is floor area ratio. But then the board, you know, they're so generous. Our government, our board, really generous people. When they said 8 floors, they said, no, we'll give 16 floors. So it became 40 meters high, and we'll give by 250 FAR, we'll give another 50, so it's 300 FAR. So this is what the board has done, given them 300 FAR and 40 meters height. Now the application goes to the NGPDA, and here, whatever we think of the planners, I think the NGPDA in this case deserves an applause. Because when the NGPDA went through the plans of this project, they had 50 observations to make. What I'm saying is, such a company, NBCC, buildings in Delhi, all over India, abroad also, I think, they don't know how to submit a simple application. The PDA had to make 12 observations. Now I'll tell you what it is. The built-up area is always mentioned in the area statement. This is the built-up area of the building. They left it blank. You don't leave it blank. You have to say what is your built-up area unless you don't know how to calculate. So NBCC, are they a good company? Do we keep them in Goa? We all people drive them out. I think they're going to destroy Goa according to me. Now, why they left it blank? Because all over I've been reading, they've been putting up statements that their built-up area is 17,000 square meters, somewhere 19,000 square meters, but it is not touching 20,000 square meters. Because when it touches 20,000 square meters, you need an environment impact assessment clearance. They didn't want to get this. So the PDA found this and said, you are more than 20,000, you have to get that EIA. So all the other observations they looked into, they sent the application back within a week to the PDA and said, we will get the EIA, but please process our file fast, because this is a very prestigious project and a time-bound project of the government of Goa. I don't know what is so prestigious and time-bound. So this is one thing about their EIA. They cannot start this project unless they get an EIA. Now coming to stilt height. They showed the stilt height as 6.6 meters because they say we want to put a puzzle parking system inside. We were told not to have a basement because there are civic lines there. I don't think there are, but they were told no basement, and because of the high tide water table. We know those roads get flooded, so does Pato, so does other areas, but there are basements in Pato, there are basements coming up in Miramar. So why no basement in Junta house? I don't know. So they said, that is why we are building 6.6. Please relax this for us. So the PDA said, no, we cannot relax it. Kudos to the PDA. They're doing their job. I want to show you that sometimes government officers do their job. Yes? How can they relax something that is of the Town and Country Planning Department? It has not come through the Town and Country Planning Department. Who are you to relax this? So that is one thing they were relaxed, which is illegal. There's another issue of open space. I hope I'm not telling you too much, but this is important. You should know how the government bends over to help these people. They have not shown a contiguous open space of 500 meters. They said the building is irregular, so we are showing you 2 open spaces at permission. But they already got it. So on 28th of Jan 26, the PDA sends NBCC an assessment order demanding fees at 1,000 rupees, which works out to mere 58 lakhs for NBCC. What is half a crore? We are talking now in crores and crores. 58 lakhs. No reply. Don't they know they have their godfathers up there? Why should they pay that amount? They'll want it waived. On 30th Jan 26, the NGPDA sends the NBCC a reminder. You have already obtained additional height and FAR. Pay the fees within 15 days. No reply. On 24th of March 26, the NGPDA sends an order. It is noted that you have not paid the fees even after a reminder dated 20th Jan 26. Now, therefore, as per the directions of the government, the additional FAR and height granted by the government on 10th of November 25 stands rescinded.
Wow.
So, till today it is rescinded. NBCC cannot build a big building as of now. And I'll tell you, for any of you who would want to know the meaning of rescinded, is to officially cancel, revoke, or take back a law, order, or agreement so that it is no longer valid.
Yes.
Under which department does it say? NGPDA?
NGPDA is a part of the town planning department, okay?
It's the same under Rani only.
Yes, the department is under Rani.
The good side of it.
I'm telling you, no, the good side of the officers, okay? Yeah. I don't know whether the good side of the government. I'm talking about the officers. So now that the height and FAR order is rescinded, it's no longer valid, they'll have to go back to town and country planning department. And they cannot do this. So, but I don't know whether the godfathers are at work or what it is. So in this case, I want to say the NGPD is strictly following the law as should be. The government is the one breaking the law. If any untoward incidents takes place, like the birch at Arpara, who will be held responsible? Will they catch some member secretary or some planner? It's the government who should be held responsible in this case, in case anything happens. So this is as far as Junta House is concerned. Now I will go to the next one. So let's hope we'll celebrate the birthday on 15th August, and I don't know when it will go down. So now I'll talk, this is the casino floor that was shown and the swimming pool on top. Now we're going to Santine's government quarters. You all are familiar with this. This is before the Kakula Mall, no? The one below, before the Kakula Mall. No, the one after the Kakula Mall, sorry. And right now, demolition has started. You will see that, because what happens is demolition comes under the CCP. So CCP only gives orders for demolition. Whether plans are approved and all will come under town planning. So they are two separate parts. So they've started demolishing that. This is what you are going to get there. Now there, the government quarters has, again, there's another hotel coming up. No, not in this place. Sorry, I'm gone to the government quarters. There's another part which is the... Okay, this is the other part, Santine's government quarters plot 2. Okay, that was plot 1 and this is plot 2. In here you're going to have a hotel coming up. It's going to be, it was first ground plus 2. Now you're going to have 12 floors. And in the first thing, there's going to be commercial use here also. And here the government has relaxed because in settlement area, the commercial the covered area is 50%
Commercial use can be only the commercial use can only be up to
50%
of the covered area.
covered area. Here government has relaxed it and saying that you can go above 50% in order to optimize land use and maintain financial liability. So there, everything for government is revenue. All our buildings, all our government buildings, Goa in fact has become a commodity. Just to be sold to anyone, monetize it. It's for revenue and that's all. So here we have another project which is coming up also in the government. Sorry. No, I'm pressing the wrong thing. Yeah. So here we are going to get, this is the wonderful hotel coming up. Do we need a hotel in place of government quarters? But do we need a hotel in Panjim? How many hotels? Everything is hotel, hotel, hotel. So we're going to get, so I said the commercial use has been this, and this is the hotel. I don't know, I find it very ugly. I don't know if you're like this building, but to me it looks very ugly. In fact, it reminded me of the Grundig radio we had days back, if you all still remember that Grundig radio. This hotel reminds me of that. And really, I don't think NBCC understands Goa and its heritage. We are supposed to have Panjim as a heritage city. Is this heritage? So I don't think we should allow these people here. I think we should just chase them away. They're going to destroy our Panjim. So while we had planned heritage, this is what is happening to Panjim.
Madam, that police station is also under NBCC?
No. That is another one which is coming inside that. So I'm only talking about the NBCC projects right now. Now here I want to, this is Circuit House. And before I talk about it, I just want to show you this video made by Jack. He's a counselor. Jack is here? Okay. So that's a video that he has made.
Right now at the entrance of the Circuit House quarter, the Circuit House has two components to it. It has the heritage building, which is the state guest house, and which is listed in the map Heritage of Goa 2017 by Poonam Varma Vegetarianus and Dr. Edgar Ribeiro, our senior town planner. It is a beautiful Art Deco building with heritage value built in 1950s, and it's got this amazing boundary wall around it with Art Deco features.
House that is there. It's not PWD, it's NBCC, okay, Ajit, Jack? It's NBCC, not PWD. They're there, they've got their finger everywhere. So I don't expect the new building to look very nice. And so this is the circuit house was ground plus 2. And now you're getting the new one as 8 floors with a swimming pool. That's going to be the new one. Swimming pool again. Where's the water? I don't know. Now the issue here is, this is Altino. It's surrounded by heritage buildings. This was ground plus 2. It hid among the trees, though it was not very nice looking. The blue one could have been developed as another heritage structure. I think you could have your circuit house in a proper heritage structure. They have given the entire plot to NBCC. I am also hoping they don't even lay a finger on the heritage part that you showed. But this building could have been developed better. This looks like, I don't know, it's so many floors. And it's like a sore thumb sticking out of Altino. All the other beautiful houses around it are going to be, I think, hidden there or whatever. Now the issue is, it had about 35 rooms. I don't know how many government guests come to visit the government of Goa. I have no idea. Do they need more and more rooms? You're going to have 8 floors, a swimming pool. I would think maybe 50 rooms at the most might be enough. Maybe you have extra people now, children, sons-in-law, everybody got to come along with them. But I don't think you need something like that. This has to be stopped because it's going to destroy Altino. And it's such a beautiful place, such a peaceful place. And I don't think we need something as ugly as what is coming up. And a swimming pool, I don't know where the water is going to come from. So that is what your Altino circuit house is going to look. Ugly, according to me. I don't know what the others think, but that is what it is.
It's put in the field.
Now we are coming to the government garage. This is a place opposite Don Bosco's. Many of you might not have noticed it also because it's always in a bad condition. But the concept plan, now this plan has not yet gone to the PDA. So we are still asking for documents under the RTI. I have applied for documents for all these NBCC projects. The only one I have actually checked is Junta House. That is why I could really speak about Junta House. But all these others, I've asked for them. But from the concept plans, it shows that there's going to be 10 floors here. It's going to be 300 FAR, 40 meters, retail, hotel. What's this thing about hotels? Whole of Panjim is full of hotels. We don't have enough private, I don't know, maybe private hotels are full, they're doing very well. You need more government hotels, I suppose, I don't know. But it's hotels, hotels and hotels. And service apartments and whatever. Now, it is, what happens here is, they say the total built up area for this is going to be 16,707, which is going to NBCC, and 880 is coming to the government of Goa. The rest is all going to the NBCC, and it is supposed to be a commercial project and government asset complex for monetization. I really don't know what this means. Everything is revenue, monetization, revenue monetization, that's all we're hearing about. So this is what this is. So you're going to have another huge project here. Now, if you think about this, just think, who has taken over the planning of Panjim? I don't think it's town planning. I don't think it's the PDA. I think it is the cabinet that is planning Panjim and deciding what should happen. Now, every time you said, we want to decongest Panjim. We want schools to get out. We want government offices to get out because we want to decongest Panjim. What are you bringing in? Hotels for casinos? Is Panjim going to be the new casino city? I think it's leading that way. So we have schools, everything out, and we have hotels in. Now we have another building that is coming. This is great. This is the Prashasan Stamb. This is the project which was supposed to be the tallest project in Panjim and 75 meters high. We are aiming for the sky. This is what the government says. So it's going very, very high, the Prashasan Stamb. At one point in time, this 75-meter height project was to come up in Pato. And it's to be an administrative building. But then they realized that to have such a big building in Pato, the piling will have to be deep, I think. Maybe some engineers will know. So for that, it will be very expensive. So they decided, let's shift the Prashasan Stamb to Porvorim. I don't know what happened in Porvorim. And finally, they decided to shift the Prashasan Stamb to Shimbel. And you all know what happened in Shimbel. Shimbel people are not going to keep quiet. They made such a noise and they got this Prashasan Stamb out of Panjim. Now, out of Shimbel. Now the issue is, you are putting an administrative building somewhere. But before you decide where this building is to come up, you're already shifting all the buildings out from Panjim, putting them in private buildings where you're paying so much of rent. Now, isn't this lopsided planning? First, you should have seen, where shall we put our Prashasan Stamb, and then get the buildings to go out. Recently, the BDO office is gone to miles high. There are so many government offices in Spaces building. There are offices in Kadamba. There are offices in Porvorim. And it becomes so difficult for people to go all over. Now the problem is, you are putting this Prashasan Stamb wherever. Maybe Porvorim again, I have no idea. But you're building again new government quarters. Besides that hotel, one project is going to have double the amount of government quarters. So what's going to happen? The people from these government quarters will live in Panjim. They'll go on the same roads to that Prashasan Stamb, which is somewhere else. Again, you're decongesting the road. They have to take their children to schools that have shifted out of Panjim. Again, you're going to congest the city roads. So what exactly government has in mind, I have no idea. So this is what they are doing. And we really don't know where this Prashasan Stamb is coming. So finally, it's not moving. It's going to where? We have to find out. We all don't know where it's going. Now we have to think, who is taking over this planning of Panjim? Like I said, you think of the administrative building, then you're shifting everything out, you're taking schools out, you're bringing casinos and hotels in. Now this is a big problem. And that's why I say NGPDA planned a heritage city. What did we get? We got a casino that is full of, I don't know whether we have this picture. No. We have the river that is full of casinos, part of our heritage, which is going to the casinos. We have a city that is also getting casinos, because I'm sure that all these hotels coming in are going to have casinos. And you're only thinking of generating revenue. But earlier you said that when I spoke at the beginning, you said that you're doing all this to achieve quality of life for the people of Goa. It's sad to be ruled by an insincere government such as the one we have. It's very bad. So these are the projects I'm talking about. There are lots of problems in Panjim city. We decided not to take all the projects, but there's one more and we want you to know more about it. And I'll call Ritu, who will speak about this project that is coming up. Again, something to generate revenue and take away what is really people's land.
Just a reminder that at the table at the back, we have some sheets for suggestions. So if you have any ideas, or, brainwaves about how we can resolve this or anything that we can do or you can help us do, please fill those in and we'll take a look at it. Thank you. We also have a donation box at the back. As Ponjikas Against Casino, our group, we incur quite a bit of expense, booking halls for legal expenses, RTI. So any contributions that you can give on your way out would be very appreciated. Thanks.
Good evening. This evening I'm going to be talking about a place in Panjim I think all of us are familiar with. You may not know it by Panjim Park, but I think most of us know it by its old name, Quarterdeck. Mandovi Riviera, Quarterdeck. This was and is Panjim Park. Before this land was leased to the Mandovi Hotel in the late 80s, it was actually a park with trees and benches by the river, used by the people of Panjim. Then in the late 80s, it was leased to Mandovi Hotel for the purpose of just maintaining it. And they were allowed to run a small restaurant, open for the people. The rest of the park was open, where they held events sometimes. But I want to ask you, before we go on forward with this project, who does this belong to? Who does this Panjim Park belong to?
The people.
To the people? Yeah?
Yes.
Beg your pardon? No. Right now, whom do you think Panjim Park belongs to?
To the people.
It belongs to the people of Panjim, to the people of Goa.
Yes.
Yeah? Beg your pardon? It's a public open space.
Yeah.
It belongs to the people of Goa, people of Panjim. So what does the doctrine of public trust say? It says that when it comes to public land, legally the government may administer it, but it is held in trust for every citizen and for the future generations. I think it's important for all of us to remember this, that public spaces, recreational spaces belong to the people. Government merely administers it and holds it in trust. They cannot be used by the government for commercial gains. It is land belonging for the public. Yeah? Now let us look at what we call Panjim Park, which all of us know as the Mandovi Riviera or the Quarterdeck. If you can see, this is the outline development plan which Patricia explained. So if we have had 3 outline development plans recently, we have the ODP 2011, the 2021 which is stayed, and right now there's a draft ODP of 2031. In all 3 of them, this is the property which is marked out in yellow. If you see, the large part of the property is green. It's recreational. It's open recreational land. A small part is red, which is actually public. It's government public land. Institutional or public land. And all of it comes, if you can see this red line, it all comes within the conservation zone in Panjim. What I want to point out, this is the property we are talking about as Panjim Park. And if you see the recreational zone, which is green, your maximum FAR is 5 and your maximum height is 5 meters. So it's minimum construction on an open area just for facilities which you require, nothing else. Now let us see what the government does. In 2022, the Department of Tourism makes an application to it was the Greater Panjim PDA that time, saying that the land needs to be developed for commercial activities so they can generate revenue for the government. This is public land belonging to the people. And when they make the application, they misrepresent it. They don't say this is our. As you can see, the land in yellow, that's the property we're talking about. Most of it is recreational. It's a small part which is public. What do they say? It is FP. FP is public land in conservation area. So they say this is public, semi-public, institutional area. They forget the recreational part, and it is recommended for change to special commercial zone. That whole area, which has an FAR of 300 and a height of 40 meters. So is there anything left of our open recreational public land? Nothing. And the reason is so they can generate revenue to the government. This is totally against the doctrine of public trust, which says this land is in trust for future generations. This is a place that belongs to everyone. It is not supposed to become another public property, another commercial private property. So what happens? Then, the Department of Tourism floats a tender. It says it is for the development, operation and maintenance of tourist infrastructure in Panjim Park. So suddenly, a public open space of the people of Panjim is being developed for tourist infrastructure. So what happens about the residents? What happens to the people who live here? Is everything going to the tourists? And in the tender they say, though they have already changed the land to special commercial from town planning, they say we are confident of converting the entire zone from recreational to commercial. So when we got to know this, in October of 2022, a group of residents went with the MLA and the mayor to meet the tourism minister, because this is very disturbing that tourism department is converting public land into a commercial activity. And when we met him, he promised that this will not happen. He will ensure that this site will continue to maintain its current sanctity and characteristics. We were all very happy. We were not aware of this, the change of zone done by the board. We only saw the tender and we were very happy. His promises, he will not change the zone. It will remain recreational with 5% FAR. And it says, as you see, zone R in the regulation says, provided that the structures are single story only. It's fine. We were happy. Now, so this is the background. So right now, the status is, in 2022, which is a period when the draft ODP of 2031 is being prepared, it has already been changed to special commercial. But all the plans which are put up, even till date, the draft plans for the public to see and give suggestions, still show it as recreational. The Minister for Tourism has assured the people that he will not change the sanctuary site, but it has been changed. So the moment the ODP 2031 is finally notified, we know what is going to happen. It becomes effective. The zone special commercial become effective. So now what happens? This tender was given to Trishul Biltech. Then they created a company called Riverfront Hospitality, which is doing the project. The lease was signed. They approached the NGPDA and said that we want to give our plans for permissions. But because the final 2031 has not been notified, the NGPDA refused. They said, we cannot give you permission. So they went to the CCP and asked for a repair license. And the repair license has been given for plastering and waterproofing only. It clearly says you cannot do any internal alterations. You cannot do any RCC works. You cannot do any canopies. It is purely for plastering and waterproofing of the existing structure. So what did they do? This is the original quarter deck, if you remember. A lot of open space by the river. This was the entrance. So now, under the guise of repair, this is the new entrance to the new riverfront property. Besides doing a totally new structure, they have also encroached upon the public road and the footpath. Is this repair? Is this waterproofing and plastering only? They have covered the whole area till the waterfront, built new pavilions and canopies, extended and built more. And if you remember, there's a Sulab public toilet, which was there. This is the Sulab public toilet, which has become a kitchen, a storeroom, and restrooms for the patrons of riverfront. It's no longer public. So effectively, this property is not accessible to the general public. It's only accessible if you go as a patron to the property. Now, if you remember the riverfront, the property went in and out. This was the edge of the property facing the river. A RCC wall. These are photographs of November 25 when the work was happening. An RCC wall with cantilevers, RCC work. Totally against the repair license, in complete violation. And the property beyond quarter deck, which is the parking area, has also been extended to a line, and the river is being filled up. Is this just plastering and waterproofing? Will you call this repair? So what is happening? It is happening right in the heart of Panjim. Everybody is aware of it, but it is going on. So we met the captain of ports to understand how could this extension to the riverine land, which comes under his jurisdiction, be carried out. Did he give permissions? Has he allowed it? He showed us 2 letters written by him to the Water Resource Department, because they are the ones carrying out the work for the department, for tourism department, for riverfront. Because the government is really helpful and accommodating to all private investors. There are 2 letters asking them to stop the work because they haven't got any permissions from Captain of Ports. And this is dated to November 25. And the work, the photographs I showed you, this is late November 25 after the letters. So irrespective of the letters, work is still being carried on. But have the authorities taken any steps? No. This has been carrying on and this is over. The cantilever extension, encroachment into the river is done. Then what happened is, we had a site, Patricia had actually made a lot of complaints to the CCP. So they had a site inspection in April. We went for the site inspection. It didn't happen because the representative from Riverfront was not present. So we requested the CCP to please have another site inspection because they're carrying out illegal works, and if we delay, the works will be finished. So after following up, finally in June, they had a site inspection. The representative was not there, but we insisted that we have to do the inspection. They did the inspection. We pointed out all the illegalities, all the work which is new. There were new structures besides changing the old structures. And then we waited for a report. We waited for some action. There was no action from the CCP. So, the Goa Bachao Abhiyan sent a legal notice to the government, all its departments, which were like the Department of Tourism, Captain of Ports, Water Resources, the CCP, and even the private parties, which were the Trishul Biltech and the Riverfront Hospitality. And the legal notice was basically, after giving all the illegalities, was basically asking that our demands were restore the park, remove the illegal structures, protect the riverfront, recover the public money, and hold the government accountable. Because how can this be allowed? Immediately after that, the CCP gives a show cause notice to Riverfront Hospitality. Till then, no action was taken. And in that, they gave them 15 days to reply as to why these illegal structures should not be demolished and answer all the queries in our legal notice. This was end of June. We are in the beginning of August. We have no response from the CCP as to what has happened to this legal notice. But what we do see is a board outside. Opening soon. For good times in Goa, opening soon. As citizens, we wonder, is this acceptable? What happens when this becomes normal? So private land becomes private commercial space. Public land becomes private commercial space. What happens? What happens is this becomes normal. Today is Panjim Park. Tomorrow it could become Pan, Miramar, our beaches, neighborhood parks. One precedent creates another, and this is the issue. Panjim Park is just a test. We want to ensure that government follows its rules. Public land remains public, and citizens still have a voice. Because if we remain silent today, we might as well remain silent forever. I want to ask everyone here, do you believe that public spaces belong to the public?
Yes.
And do you believe that if we allow Panjim Park to be taken today, no public space in Goa is truly safe tomorrow?
Yes.
So, GPA has gone to court on this. Okay? But, is the future of Panjim going to be decided by the courts?
No.
Shouldn't the future be decided by citizens? Shouldn't we be doing something?
Yes.
And do we want to do something?
Yes.
So we have a suggestion, an action point, which we can do. GB has gone to court, let them go to court. The draft ODP 2020-31 is still draft. It's not been final notified. This change of zone to special commercial is under the draft. Can we all raise an objection together to the government? Please revert it back to R. Don't notify this change of zone to special commercial. Leave it as recreation. Leave it as people's public land. Are we all willing to do that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, we have Amita and Arvi. We have done a draft letter for our objections. I'm going to just read out the gist of it. I'm going to read it out. And then we want a signature campaign, which we will give in as the people of Panjim to the NGPDA to say, do not make this change in the final ODP 2031. It has to remain recreational. Can you imagine a 300 FAR and a 40-story building coming up on this Panjim Park? We have to stop it. And if we don't stop this project, we are doomed. Okay, so I'll just read the gist of the letter so you all know what you are signing for. So if you could sign, it'd be lovely. And also if we have volunteers who are willing to take copies of the letter and go for signatures in their area, get more signatures, make people aware of what is happening in Panjim Park, Quarter Deck. Yeah? And what the government has in plan. So the letter is to the member secretary of the North Goa Planning and Development Authority, the NGPDA. It is talking about the draft ODP, the change of zone of Panjim Park, and the public trust doctrine in India. We are saying, dear sir, we have attended an awareness meeting organized by the people of Panjim. We were explained that our public recreation land by the river Mandavi, known as Panjim Park, has been sought to be changed by the Department of Tourism from recreational, clandestinely shown as public, to special commercial, only for the purpose of generation of revenue, and is leased out to a private party. We were shocked to learn that the Planning Development Authority and the Town and Country Planning Board, who should have done a thorough analysis of the proposal from the Department of Tourism to check the status of land, which is largely R, and only a small portion is public, government, failed to do so. And the Town and Country Planning Board decided to change the people's land to special commercial. We would like to stress that the public trust doctrine law holds that certain natural and public resources, which covers rivers, forests, seashores, lakes, parks, and common lands, are not owned by the state. Instead, the state holds these resources as a trustee for the benefit of the public, present and future. And they cannot be leased, alienated, privatized, or converted to commercial use. It is brought to our notice that the Outline Development Plan 2031 has not been finalized. It is our request to you as planners of our city of Panjim, and in the interest of its citizens, to retain the recreational status in the final ODP 2031 and reject the change of zone as asked for by the tourism department. So this is the letter, and if we get a lot of signatures from the people of Panjim, it will definitely help to stop this land from being converted. Yeah. So, yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you're saying people of Panjim. Okay, I was once...
People of Panjim and Goa. Let's put it that way. People of Panjim and Goa.
Okay.
All this land is for every land in Goa, and
So we
to
can
all the
sign.
people of...
We have
Everybody
signed
can
up.
sign is people of Panjim and Goa.
Yeah. Yeah.
All public land, all resources, natural resources belong to us. And if we can stop this Panjim Park from being converted for commercial gains, believe me, it'll be a step forward to stopping a lot of our public areas being privatized for commercial gains, for generating revenue. So, Amita and Arvi are going to go with the signature campaign. Yeah, please.
You said since it is designated as public land and Panjim Park, which department leased it?
So all this land belongs to the government of Goa. Right now, it is in the possession of the Department of Tourism. They have leased it.
How did they get for that?
See, the government, all government land is leased out to different departments. So if you see this whole, if you,
It was leased.
yeah, I just show you. If you see,
It was popularly known as Quarter Deck.
yeah, no, it was actually known as Panjim Park in the 70s and all. When the Mandavi Hotel was leased out to Mandavi Hotel, in the late 80s, they opened a restaurant called Quarterdeck. And that's how it came to be known as Quarterdeck to all of us. During the department, and they were supposed to maintain this public park, and they were allowed to build a small restaurant within 5% FAR to cater to that.
Public access doesn't seem to be very strongly represented in your letter, from what I thought.
Beg your pardon?
The access to the public, for public use,
Yeah,
doesn't seem to be very strongly.
we will add that, yeah.
Please do that because
Yes.
more than anything, one is maintaining recreation and second is to make sure
Accessible to the public, yes.
it has to be strongly.
Very strongly. It's accessible to the public.
We put objection on entire ODB.
Beg your pardon?
We put objection on entire ODB.
See, you can put an objection to the entire, but the point is that doesn't